the brain versus the bruises. He could ID your play before you even broke the huddle. He moved like he'd stolen the snap count. And then, at 28, barely old enough to rent a car without the underage fee, Luke Kuechly walked away from the NFL for good. How did a mild-mannered kid from Cincinnati grow into the league's ultimate mind reader? And why did the smartest linebacker alive decide the price of one more Sunday was too high? Keep watching, because Luke's story isn't just about tackles and trophies. It's about a brain so sharp it outraced 300-pound linemen, and the hidden damage that finally made him hit pause on greatness. But first, we have to rewind to a rainy high school practice where a wiry sophomore stunned his coaches by calling out every offensive play before the ball was snapped. Luke August Kuechly grew up in a family that loved two things: the outdoors and strategy games. Backyard two-hand touch quickly turned into full-contact chess. He'd sketch coverages on scrap paper, then drag neighborhood kids into position, explaining which window the quarterback would target. It wasn't just curiosity, it was compulsion. By the time he reached St. Xavier High in Cincinnati, the coaches realized the quiet teenager saw football in slow motion. Head coach Steve Specht recalls Luke answering questions meant for seniors on day one of freshman camp. He understood the why behind every alignment, Specht said later. Under Luke's on-field GPS, St. X went 15-0 and claimed an Ohio State championship. Boston College athletics, yet recruiters glanced at the scale, not the stat sheet. He weighed barely 200 pounds, looked more biology major than future Pro Bowler, and wound up as just the 44th ranked outside linebacker in the 2009 class. But four universities with serious classroom pedigrees, Stanford, Duke, Virginia, and Boston College, fought for the miss-sized film junkie. Luke chose BC for its Catholic roots and a pipeline of St. X grads who had thrived there. He also liked that nobody promised me anything but hard work. Hard came quickly. In the very first scrimmage, fourth-year seniors pancaked him on back-to-back snaps. "I got my teeth kicked in," he laughed later. "That's when you find out how bad you want it." A veteran safety named Wes Davis took him into the dark film room, hit play, and taught Luke how to catalog formations by tendencies, down and distance, hash mark, motion. The freshman inhaled it. BC fans never saw him think. They just saw a blur to the football. Over 3 seasons, Luke collected a Boston College and ACC record 532 tackles, averaging an absurd 14.0 stops per game, the highest in FBS history. As a junior, he logged 191 tackles, won every major defensive award, and left campus with a suitcase full of plaques and zero lingering doubt about his frame. Scouts who once questioned his size suddenly debated whether his mind could translate. Luke wasn't snatching sacks at the line of scrimmage like some pass rush prodigies. He was diagnosing everything 5 yards deep and erasing it. Carolina GM Marty Herney saw the value and spent the 9th overall pick on the ACC tackling machine. Head coach Ron Rivera, a linebacker on the 1985 Monsters of the Midway, envisioned Kuechly as the quarterback of the defense. Only one issue: incumbent star John Beeson already wore that headset. Luke slid outside, absorbed the playbook, and hovered at 100 miles per hour until fate intervened. After week 4, Beeson blew out his knee. Suddenly, the rookie with braces on his locker room smile became the signal caller for everyone. Teammates braced for communication chaos. Instead, Luke finished the year with an NFL-leading 164 tackles, 2 interceptions, and the Defensive Rookie of the Year trophy. The Panthers leapt from 27th to 18th in points allowed almost overnight. In 2013, Luke Kuechly became the youngest Associated Press Defensive Player of the Year ever. 22 years, 102 days. Week 16 against New Orleans, he tied an NFL record with 24 tackles and an interception, bailing Carolina out of playoff jeopardy. Saints linemen swore he called their slide protections louder than Drew Brees. With another 153-tackle masterpiece in 2014 and captured his second straight first-team All-Pro nod. Practice grew almost comical. Greg Olsen begged coaches to yank Luke on gadget plays because the linebacker would shout, "Reverse!" before the wideout had even accepted the handoff. Rivera later admitted they sometimes obliged just to keep morale intact. Luke's day looked like this: arrive before dawn, lift, meetings, walkthrough, practice, recovery, dinner, and then a 3-hour solo film shift broken only by a smoothie. He doodled route combinations on index cards, then quizzed cornerbacks in the hallway. Tony Dungy, visiting as a TV analyst, likened Luke's prep to Peyton Manning with a linebacker's neck roll. When a league-wide survey of offensive linemen named him hardest LB to fool, 76% cited his pre-snap audibles. One guard joked, "It's like blocking the teleprompter. He already read your line." Historic Year 2 leap. Panthers' 2013 defense surrendered just 15.1 points per game, second only to Seattle's Legion of Boom. Luke's season total, 156 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 4 interceptions, 2 sacks, quarterback rating allowed 55.4. He became the chess grandmaster in shoulder pads. During film of a Saints bunch set, he leaned back and recited all 3 option routes the slot man could run, then added which one Brees favored on 3rd and short from the left hash. Teammates nodded. Coaches just pressed record. Relentless 2014 consistency. Only 2 players since 2000 opened their careers with 3 straight 150 tackle seasons. Luke was one of them. October 2014 told the story. 15 tackles and an interception versus Chicago, then 14 more and a pick of Russell Wilson in Seattle. He logged snap counts everywhere: middle hook zone, man coverage on Jimmy Graham, edge blitz. Analysts created the nickname Human Telstrator because he'd trace the opponent's play in the air as it unfolded. Off the field, the legend grew. He hand-wrote flashcards of every route concept for young corners, color-coding depth and break timing. Guards studied film at 6 a.m., and Luke was already 3 cups of coffee deep, hoodie up, remote in hand, rewinding short motion for the 8th time. Reputation solidified early 2015. Before a concussion in Week 1, Luke matched Derek Brooks's record for most tackles through 50 career games, 561. Offensive coordinators started requesting officials check his helmet radio. The league found nothing but static. The truth was scarier. No wires, just photographic memory. Still untouchable, Luke missed 3 September games but returned Week 8 and never slowed. In just 13 outings, he stacked 118 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 4 interceptions, and Pro Football Focus awarded him its highest LB coverage grade ever, 99.1. Thanksgiving in Dallas became national proof. First, he undercut Jason Witten for a 32-yard pick six. Next drive, he dissected Romo's red, slid 2 gaps, and snatched another interception. Tony Romo finished with a 0 passer rating when throwing at Luke. Panthers' Cam Newton screamed, "Captain America," on the sideline. The nickname stuck. Playoff heroics divisional round versus Seattle. First defensive snap. Luke diagnoses Wilson's dagger concept, jumps the underneath seam, and cruises 14 yards to the house. Panthers. Next week, NFC Championship. Cardinals run mesh. Carson Palmer thinks he has Larry Fitzgerald open. Luke slips underneath. 22-yard pick six. Panthers 14-0 in a blink. He became the first linebacker to record pick sixes in consecutive playoff games. Super Bowl 50. On the grandest stage, he logged a game-high 10 tackles and 1 sack. Denver produced only 194 total yards, yet Carolina's turnovers doomed the day. Luke's mic-up revealed calm commands. "One stop at a time. We've studied this." The loss stung, but his resume after 4 seasons read like a Hall candidate. 3 times first-team All-Pro, DPOY, Super Bowl appearance, and a career passer rating against under 56. Cultural impact and rumors. That offseason, an NFC South coach half-joked about letting Luke call offensive plays too. He'd probably score. Meanwhile, a rumor circulated that the Panthers had coded dummy calls just to throw him off in practice. Nothing stuck. The myth only grew. But inside the helmet, trouble brewed. Week 1 of 2015 delivered Luke's first diagnosed concussion. He missed 3 games. In the season finale, he tore shoulder cartilage, requiring surgery. Then came November 17, 2016. A routine tackle on Saints running back Tim Hightower. Face mask on crown. Luke sat up woozy. Then tears poured down his face. The image of the Warrior sobbing on national TV jolted every viewer. Doctors labeled it a grade 3 concussion, the most severe. SI, he missed the final 6 contests. By 2017, he had endured 3 concussions in 27 months. University of North Carolina at Charlotte neurologist Dr. Kevin Guskiewicz warned Sports Illustrated that a 3rd head trauma elevates the risk of long-term cognitive issues exponentially. Yet Luke powered through 2017 to 19, playing 48 of 49 possible games, adding 2 more first-team All-Pros, and raising his career tackle count to 1,092. But he felt the invisible hits. If I can only play at 70% of my standard, that's not fair to my teammates, he confided to friends. January 14, 2020, a dimly lit Panthers film room. Luke pressed record on his phone and spoke directly to the lens. In my heart, I know it's the right thing to do. Then he retired, age 28, 8 seasons, no on-field decline, just unseen danger. Fans reacted with grief and respect. Social media petitions begged Carolina to place him in the stadium's Ring of Honor immediately. Commentators debated whether his 8-year peak was enough for Canton. The numbers argued yes. 7 Pro Bowls, 5 first-team All-Pros, 1,092 tackles, 18 INTs, 12.5 sacks, and a legacy as the era's gold standard for linebacker intellect. At home, Luke marveled at how quiet mornings felt. He tried scouting for the Panthers in 2020, but missed the locker room energy. After 1 season, he left the front office saying, "I'm better around face masks than spreadsheets." Alongside Greg Olsen and Jonathan Stewart, Luke volunteered at a Charlotte middle school, drawing zone blitz diagrams on whiteboards for wide-eyed 8th graders. "It's the same joy," he told reporters, "just smaller shoulder pads." In 2022, the Panthers radio network offered a part-time color commentary gig. It fit. Listeners loved how he predicted play calls live. "Watch the puller, bootleg coming," he'd whisper, and then, exactly so. He added college football analysis for CBS in 2024, finally sleeping in on Mondays. January 2025. Luke became a first-ballot finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but missed the cut by a whisker. No worry, finalists stay on the ballot, and by rule, he's an automatic finalist for 2026. Panthers. The Finsider. Panthers Twitter erupted. Canton can't read film as fast as Luke, clearly. Asked about a comeback, he smiled. Carolina's linebackers are fine. Besides, the headset in the booth weighs a lot less. Ahead of the offense, ahead of his time. Luke Kuechly mastered the mental art of football so completely that opponents accused him of time travel. He set tackle records in college, dominated the pros, and left before the game could dim the tool that mattered most: his mind. In an era reckoning with head trauma, maybe Luke wasn't just beating the play call. He was beating the future too, choosing long-term clarity over short-term applause. So next time you see a linebacker sprint into the backfield like he stole tomorrow's script, Remember the quiet kid from Cincinnati who made anticipation an art form and proved that the smartest move of all might be knowing when to walk away? Stick around for more deep dives into the untold stories of sports' sharpest minds, because the next revelation is just one click away